Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got Shopify Rebellion's BYUN in the bottom left side here, playing the round of 8, ESL Asia 232. He's up against REYNOR in the top right for Basilisk. And REYNOR coming to the end of his career arc. I believe this is the last tournament he's played before heading back to Europe, if memory serves. I think he's back in Italy right now. You guys let me know if you heard anything on that. He dropped by my chat yesterday. I tried to banter with him. He immediately disappeared and didn't answer a single question. So he did the old drop in chat, say a funny comment, and then disappear before I can respond. So I didn't get to chat to him really, but hopefully he drops by again one of these other days and we'll get to say hey. Second Barracks Proxy, guys. The 2 Barracks Proxy Reaper. This is something Clem used a bit on this map. A few different players have been using it just to get a bit more momentum with the Proxy Reaper. The Europeans are pretty technical in their defensive Proxy Reaper, but I think this is the version that gets a bit more momentum early. But of course, you're even more vulnerable. Low ground wall lift with only 1 barracks. I mean, you're going to be very slow in your production because this barracks will have to float all the way home, build an add-on, and only then begin marine production. Depot on the left of the natural. Orbitals coming on as well. Shout out to Just Danish in the chat, who's pointed out, look, I made a dumb comment. Oh, I didn't want to start a political argument. Let's move on. And that's exactly the correct call. That's an experienced Twitch chatter who knows to defuse the situation. No, don't, no, bad. Dynamite chili, gross coal, no. You guys know you're not allowed to do this. Apologies to those watching on YouTube after the fact. It's like herding cats. Trying to get people in Twitch chat to not argue about like bloody gender identity or politics or whatever the hot button issue of the day is. Dr. Disrespect messaging minors. I don't know. I'm like, guys, no, we're here to talk about StarCraft. I don't want people arguing about contentious topics. You can argue, actually, the disrespect thing's messed up and you can talk about that. I think everyone's on the same page with that one, but Reapers are getting sick damage, guys. This is actually really bad. 4 lings and a drone. Great start for BYUN. I'd say that's more than worth it. And if he gets the 3rd hatchery as well, this would be massive. Reaper's going to go towards that 3rd hatchery. Got a ling speed starting up. Command Center's, of course, on the way behind this. And interesting, it looks like a 3rd CC before factory here is going to be the play. No, factory does go down first in the wall. If this barracks is floating home, so that's a total of 4 Reapers. Look at this, guys. 3 Reapers distract, but REYNOR knows it's coming. And oh, BYUN, don't lose it. Oh, REYNOR's blocking him. Nice moves by REYNOR. And Ray, he does defend the 3rd hatchery, but that means he leaves his main open. BYUN says, hey, mate, if you really want to keep that hatchery alive, you can, but you're going to need to build a lot of lings to defend your drones at the same time, and that's why REYNOR's work account only at 22. These Reapers getting good damage. The Queen's... Oh, I like that the Queen's held position there. Jumping to your death. Oh, REYNOR... Okay, he did focus fire. I was like, oh no, he didn't focus immediately, but he managed to focus down 2. So 3 Reapers go down, and what started, I thought, as a pretty successful attack, I now think actually goes REYNOR's way. Because those lings stopped any drones dying in the main, the hatchery survived, Queens are back injecting, we've got a few active creep tumors, you got ling speed control, and remember what I talked about, that production is so slow. Oh, the depot barely gets up. So that reactor's just started, the tech lab's just started, and notice he focuses the reactor. You might be wondering, why is he focusing the tech lab? Oh, sorry, the reactor and not the tech lab, because a tech lab only builds in 18 seconds, a reactor takes 36 seconds, and costs 25 more gas. So the reactor is always the better value target, unless you know you're like canceling a stim that's halfway or more done kind of thing. But in general, this is why you'll always see Mutalisks flying through a base, focusing down those reactors, because for just 400 hit points, you're getting so much value out of it. A lot of build time, a lot of delay on the Terran's production. Now, double engineering bay has gone up behind the 3rd command center, guys. Classic greedy follow-up. This is the build that has very few units on the ground, though, and he's just building Hellions one at a time. He's not going to rebuild that reactor out front. Interesting. REYNOR's up about 8 workers right now. Not a bad position to be in as Zerg. He should be opening these minerals up and thinking about a fast 4th. If he can get a fast 4th base, that'd be great. One problem REYNOR has, though, is a lack of scouting. Right? He doesn't know what the follow-up is at all. 0 information on the follow-up. And I've talked a lot about how REYNOR is one of the more blind players. Not saying he doesn't see things on the screen, but he doesn't attempt to get extra vision. Him and Dark both do this a lot. Now notice with the watchtower, BYUN can spot the overlord on that pillar. That's why that's not a super common pillar to be used. But, I mean, Marines getting themselves a kill. No supply block there. We should be seeing more Overlords for REYNOR, though. He's not building any yet. He's going for Roach Tech. Roach Ravager off of 3-base saturation is always very nice. Sorry guys, just had to let rip a massive burp there. I mute my microphone to be kind, but then as an honorable gentleman, I own up to it. I go, oh, I did just do a big burp. Kind of defeats the purpose, some would say. But redundancy and Pig's commentary are kind of hand in hand, aren't they? And this is an odd Hellbat Marine timing, guys. I think Roaches are going to shut this down pretty hard because he's got the armory now. He's waiting for the medevacs, but because that reactor died, this is just not syncing up. I think BYUN wanted to hit like a really stiff 1-1 stim shields kind of medevac Hellbat timing, and now everything just feels like it's not very clean. And look, he's just kind of going home now. He's like, yeah, this probably won't work. He might have, did he see the Roaches? Oh, he's seen the Roaches. That's actually kind of a mistake, you could say, for REYNOR, letting his Roaches get seen there. He just gave free information to BYUN and didn't even make BYUN work for it. Slight problem there for him. Fourth base goes up on the gold. Interesting. Got this hatchery here. All right, so Marines, Medevacs, and Hellions going to be coming through the middle of the map. Hellions starting to take down that creep wherever they can. Queens and Roaches just chilling. 1-1 melee carapace. This is a classic Roach Ravager into Lingbane Hive play. Now, Oliveira and a bunch of other Terrans have shown the weakness of this, right? It's pushing it when they're making that awkward transition from Roach Ravager into Lingbane. The Roaches won't have any attack upgrades, especially when your 2-2s finish and you're maxed. You can completely kill a player doing this unless they engage just right. And on this map especially, pushes down the middle are very scary. So REYNOR wants the Roach Ravager to hold back those pushes, but he's going to be haunted, no doubt, by the memory of Dallas, where he played against Oliveira and he just didn't make extra Banelings. He just had no Banelings ready, and Oliveira just killed him with an 8-rack shove, seeing that all he had was a handful of Roaches and Lings, and once you hit that big ball of Marines, you can kill. That being said, 4th Command Center is already building. 2 more barracks. Now, this is odd. Oh, actually, wait. BYUN's playing Oliveira's optimized late game. That was a bad trade for BYUN, I'd say. Even though it's positive in the units lost tab, I think that was quite a few Marines to throw away. So notice, guys, he's gone 4th and 5th barracks only after starting his 4th Command Center, and then he goes 2nd factory. Oliveira was very critical of Maru in an interview after the finals because the Chinese commentators were saying, well, why was that so one-sided? Like, what happened between Maru and Serral? And Oliveira was like, well, when he went to play late game, his 4th Command Center was starting at like 8 minutes. You're meant to start it at like 5:50 at the latest kind of thing. You're meant to delay your 4th and 5th barracks, then go to 8 barracks in the 2nd factory after your 4th Command Center's up. And he basically pointed out like there was a lot of little macro errors like that where Maru's play just like wasn't optimized. And that's something I pointed out. I did like a little analysis on my stream. I didn't end up posting it on YouTube because I didn't feel like it was deep enough in the analysis. It basically summed down to Maru didn't have any good builds. He played very generic vanilla ZVT, and every game from Serral was clearly like a unique special plan. It felt like Serral was prepared for every map, brought out like his best specialized builds, and Maru played a very standard generic series with there was no, I'm going to accentuate my macro. I'm going to make this push extremely optimized. I'm going to make my macro extremely optimized. It was always very middle of the road. And you can see BYUN here saying, look, dude, Oliveira is the best CVT in the world right now. The man's been grinding games with Serral. I'm going to listen to that interview. I'm going to practice what he pointed out. That being said, late game is not usually BYUN's forte. He's okay at it, but I feel like REYNOR will outmatch him there. Even though REYNOR's not great at late game either, he gets frustrated, he gets over-eager. Sometimes he loses steam, starts headbutting a little bit. I feel like BYUN can be really good at late game these days, but he'll still just have those BYUN moments where he either grabs his whole army and stims on creep and gets killed, or he just kind of loses track of the multitasking defensively. Like, BYUN's so good when he's attacking 3 or 4 places at once, but when he's reacting and defending, he does leave a lot of openings. And I kind of think of him as being very similar to Clem in that regards, where they'll be defending for 15 minutes perfectly, and then they'll just leave one side completely open, and Lingbane will roll in and kill all their economy. Not saying it happens a lot, but I'm just saying against a guy like REYNOR, you only need one opening like that to get punished for the game to slip away. Terran is usually more fragile than Zerg until they get Mass Command Center up. Oh, gets a queen, another queen, couple of queens, damages the hatchery. If he committed 100% to the hatchery, he might have been able to get it. Baneling's connecting. A little slow on the pickup there for BYUN, but hey, not too bad. And abducting there into the Spore and the Queen does manage to take out the medevac, but it's the empty one. Ghost production started, 3-3 on the way, vehicle weapons, libs. Now, I think at this point, REYNOR should realize what sort of game he's in, guys. He's on 99 drones, and he should already be taking this hatchery and trying to mine it, and this hatchery and trying to mine it, right? Because at this point, your opponent clearly is just turtling to endgame. And I've always talked about that, look, when the game's back and forth and the Terran's attacking, I understand you not taking those bases, but all he's done is a few little drippy droppies. BYUN's keeping you busy, but it's a distraction. None of this is committed. Every time he gets in trouble, he just picks up and flies away. Picks up, flies away. And that's why I really feel like REYNOR needs to get a move on with taking those forward bases. Cleans up a few Marines over there. Ghosts running on creep. That's a misclick. Hello. Would you like a gift? 3 wise men. Got some frankincense and myrrh in there, apparently. Zerglings and banelings. Not a big fan of any of that stuff. No, thank you. They just rip them to shreds. Command Center's trying to float out. The creep's denying it pretty well. REYNOR a little slow to start taking those forward bases, guys. It's been a minute now since this game was like obviously a turtle late game match. REYNOR's still not optimizing for that. He does have Adrenal. He's making 3-3. Chitinous plating. No Anabolic Synthesis queued up. That could be an upgrade that he forgets. That's not an upgrade. It's not the highest priority, but it does help. 10% movement speed for Ultras off creep is big. This is a small attack. That's not a lot of Zerg. Nice EMP on the Vipers. 1 tank goes down. Looks like the Biles should take out 2 siege tanks. It's quite a lot of Ling Bane to lose for not that much Terran, but he's denying this base, and I think that works. This hatchery's down, finally. But I feel like this hatchery already could be mining this whole time, guys. You're on 95 workers. Do we really need 6,000 minerals mining safely? Nope. These workers should be down here, and these workers on the top side should be over here. I harp on about this a lot because this is a massive hole in everyone but Cyril's game. Cyril is at the cutting edge of Zerg vs. Terran. And a lot of players out there have not added in the techniques that he does. REYNOR's talked about how that's an important technique, but he's not 100% consistent at doing it just yet. Maybe it's because he's playing BYUN and he wasn't mentally prepared to be playing this sort of match against a guy who's normally aggressive. But right now, you're against 10 tanks, 2 libs, 12 ghosts, 22 marines, 7 marauders. REYNOR's just going to try and break through, and he definitely could beat him. But he's going to be much more all-in than he needs to be because of his refusal to mine those forward bases. Now, don't get me wrong, he might have only been able to mine this base for a minute. But remember, every mineral you mine, say you mine 800 minerals from that, that's 800 minerals you get, 800 minerals you deny from the Terran in the future. So it's double value. And this is why stealing those resources is so important. He also could be mining this base on the left. Building a hatchery, 300 minerals, guys. Sending 16 drones when you're sitting on 95 with 9k minerals, the opportunity cost is very low in this sort of game. Vipers coming in from the right side. Ling Bane coming in with a big spread. Here we go. Not that much bio ghost around. No planetary. The orbital just lifts up. The ghosts are pulling back. Great blinding clouds. But missile turrets damaging and killing a few of those Vipers. Ooh, the Vipers actually barely survive. Ghosts up front kind of get caught out. I don't know how good these trades are for either side. Like 11 workers go down. A lot of Ling Bane. A few tanks. Looks like a 2,000 resource lost advantage. 2,500 for BYUN. It's respectable. It's nothing to write home about. Like, BYUN's low on bank, remember. So if REYNOR just keeps remaxing and trading like that, I actually think he beats BYUN. As long as he, especially if he keeps denying the gold. BYUN's only on 4 bases. He needs a 5th. Worst thing BYUN could do is expand to the left side right now. I think it's good to do a bit of light pressure here. Oh, I like that. Mass Spore Crawler and Ling's defending the left. But REYNOR's, he's only taking mining, half mining. Why doesn't he have this fully saturated? Why is this base not fully saturated? Massive oversights for REYNOR in this game on his fundamentals. Don't get me wrong, his creep is great. He's been doing good attacks. These good attacks are easily game-winning otherwise. All right, guys. Continuing the game there. Sorry, we just had a slight technical hiccup, but we are continuing. Ultraling Bane gathering another big attack. This could kill him. BYUN's very low on money right now. He has no planetaries reinforcing this front. I think he's going to struggle to defend this. He's going to struggle to defend this because the Marine Ghost has to survive. If that gets hit by Banelings, it's game over. He has to keep the Marine Ghost alive. A lot of SCVs go down. He does a good job of protecting his Marine Ghost. He will snipe the Ultras. He loses 18 workers. That's probably not as bad as it could have been. I mean, you can see now the resource lost. 6,000 in his favor. That was actually a decent fight, even though he lost a lot of workers. Now, if he could get a planetary over here to secure this position, this would be much better. But oh no, he's taking the left. There's no way he can defend the left and the right at the same time. This gives REYNOR an easy attack angle. I've talked about this a lot over the last few years. If you expand to extreme edges of the map at the same time and have to split your army half and half, it becomes much easier for Zerg to just grab their whole army and shove into a small section of your army. So I think this is a big mistake here. The Lings should be able to find these tanks very easily. Ooh, not the best micro for REYNOR. He needs to get Lings on those tanks on that side. He doesn't have any anti-air. If he had Corruptors to clear these libs, that'd be amazing. He's going to clear those tanks, though. Forces the command center to lift. The libs do good damage. REYNOR losing a mineral line over here. Good counterattack. Double base snipe for BYUN, but it's not worth losing these units. And there's Lings in his base as well. Remember, as a Terran, your job is to slow the game down, not speed it up normally. BYUN says, I don't care about your rules, pig. You don't know how to play StarCraft. I'm a pro gamer. I'm one of the best aggressive Terrans in the world, and I'm here like from the sidelines going, dude, you're playing a turtle style. You shouldn't be counterattacking and spreading to both sides. He's kind of done a lot of damage to REYNOR, though. Let's see if he can salvage it. I don't know, man. It's going to be hard to get his defenses together because his tanks are going down now. He does have more tanks coming in. But 22 workers go down. I mean, REYNOR's trading okay. I don't think that's too bad for him. With the bank that he's built up, he did lose a lot of workers, and he's going to rebuild them and go Broodlords now. Broodlords are pretty good against a guy on mass tank. I think Broodlord swap probably could have already hit in this game. He does deny the base on the left, which is pretty good. He's killed 3 command centers, which is not too bad as well. Orbital count is at 9. So BYUN can remax very quickly. REYNOR is out of lava, or he's waiting for Broodlords. I actually think if he just kept going, he might have been able to get in. Man, the lack of Corruptors kind of hurts on this side because he's got no mobile anti-air to deal with them. So that side's kind of defended just by a couple libs. Hatchery snipe on the right is nice. Lings come in. Great Ling run by. Always worth trading a few Lings for SCVs and tanks, guys. Lings are very cheap units. The fact that REYNOR's saving his supply for so long has me a little worried. Obviously, he's waiting for the big Broodlord swap. I'd like him to try to be active with the Ultras, but he's worried about Ghost getting him. There is a planetary here and a planetary here. If you start getting tanks on that ledge, that's where things get really nice. Yeah, BYUN's going to start moving forward. I think BYUN's actually made it past the scariest part of this game, and REYNOR's mining this base, but because REYNOR has not mined this base much at all and didn't steal any resources from here, I actually think basically this Broodlord timing needs to do massive damage. And normally I would say these days Broodlords are better at like hitting an angle, picking off a tank or two, pulling back, rotating north, rotating back south, kind of chipping away, because if you go too deep and you don't have your infestors covering, snipes can take them out. There's 18 ghosts. It's all about the infestors. He's got 4 infestors, 3 more there. Scan, I think, sees the edge of the Broodlords, guys. Yeah, he sees the Broodlords morphing. He knows. He knows about the Broodlord morph. 13 Broodlords about to come out of those. A couple queens do get sniped. BYUN's going to pull back. He doesn't have any Thors in production. He's got 5 factories. A couple are on reactors. Normally, you'd be building Thors here. Nice, fungal. 5 ghosts go down. They land EMP on some of the infestors, but not too many of them. This is a good forward defense here from BYUN, getting rid of some of that infestor energy. But he's only just started Thors now. He does have +3 vehicle weapons, +1 armor. He's going to counterattack the left side because he knows fighting into the Broodlord infestors is very difficult. But those infestors need to be up front and close. This is what I said. The Broodlords need to attack an angle, rotate around, pick off the sense towers, and then rotate. Pull back. REYNOR's a little bit deep right now, but he does cop an EMP on an infestor. At least that's not Broodlords getting sniped. Better to get an infestor EMP than Broodlord sniped. Hatchery on the top left goes down. REYNOR has not stolen any of these not anywhere near enough of these forward resources, and BYUN's getting out of the woods. Once these Thors and Vikings arrive, Broodlords aren't going to have an easy time breaking him. REYNOR has a massive bank. He still has opportunities, but his lack of resource dominance on the edges of this map shows us that BYUN simply may be outplaying him in a long late game because REYNOR has not been taking those forward resources as quickly as possible. BYUN's getting out of the scary part of ZVT. There's a scary moment where you don't have that much money, but he's got all of his infrastructure up now. He's got a ton of money. This zoning nuke is really cute. That Liberator does get killed by an abduct, which is nice. Damages the Broodlord, doesn't quite kill it. It will heal when the cocoon finishes. Ultraling infestor up on this left side. There's not much defending this base. Just a few libs, a few ghosts, but that'll beat this army because there's nothing to deal with those Liberators. Sporkriller's trying to move forward here. Infestor Broodlord. I mean, Micro's been good for REYNOR. It has been good. He's been very, careful. I like the abducts. Very nice. Oh, he's going to get a Broodlord snipe. 1 Broodlord snipe. Vikings come forward. They might get another Broodlord. Yep, that's 2 Broodlords down. Third one's very low. Lovely EMPs. Good fungals on the ghosts, though, as well. Ghosts are starting to fall, but their snipes are landing as well. I think that's a total of 5 Broodlords that just went down. 4 Broodlords did go down, guys. The Thors are now out. So the Broodlords, normally at this point, you swap off Broodlords. REYNOR is doubling down. He also doesn't have great Broodlord upgrades, right? That's kind of scary. You just want every bit of extra value you can on them. He's got double Spire, but he's only got 2/1. So he starts +2 armor, +3 attack now. Good upgrade management from REYNOR. He's still trying to take the purple gas base on his opponent's side. The fact that he hasn't mined this base is a travesty. Even if he fully mines the purple gas base on the left side, hold that thought, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Tank line getting broken. Missile turret got a few hits off there. High-sec auto-tracking missile turret's pretty good. 8 SCV's good. And that's a good Broodlord wave. This is what I'm talking about. Just rotate the Broodlords, but just avoid. Get out. And he's got the zoning infester there. He needs high ground vision, though. Oh! Great fungal. Another good fungal. Throws a few shots, but you don't want to chase too far. Yeah, you don't want to chase too far. Great damage here from REYNOR. That was a good trade. Now pull back. Don't force it. Don't force it. I don't think this is a good trade. I don't think there's enough Broodlords to beat the Thors. He gets rid of one Thor, gets rid of a few ghosts. It might actually be worth it there. Never mind, guys. Great fight for REYNOR. Really good fight. BYUN not handling his anti-Broodlord as well as he needs to. He's losing all of his Thors, Vikings, and ghosts. REYNOR maybe getting a little bit excited, though. A few Broodlords go down to snipes there. Just 1 or 2, actually. Not too many. Hellbat's denying this top left base. So REYNOR is denying the gold, which is good. But BYUN has 2 bases mining still. So BYUN will be able to remax. BYUN's work account's a bit lower. This is going to turn down to one of these really close games. I think if you don't mine these bases against Maru, you're screwed. I think against BYUN, REYNOR might be able to do this because he's getting such good value out of his Broodlords. Look, he's only down 5,000 resources in the units lost. I really want to see him try and sneak that base up again, but he's had it denied so many times that he feels like it's a losing investment now. EMPs on the Infestors! Oh no! He just got all of his Infestors EMP'd. A bunch of Broodlords get sniped. Ghosts come forward. The Ling Ultra does rally over and helps out. We're up to 15 Broodlords have now been killed, guys. Yes, he did kill 2 Thors, a few Vikings, 32 Ghosts have gone down, but a lot of those Broodlords just died. He's back to 8,000 resource lost deficit. Holy crudsicles. Ghost getting abducted here. Nice abducts for REYNOR, but he doesn't really have what he needs to take advantage of it. Oh man, look at that. Ghost just running deep on creep to snipe these ultras. Zero fear right now for BYUN. BYUN's playing a confident game plan. Double spellcaster investment. Okay, this is where REYNOR gets stuck though. I think REYNOR's stuck on spellcaster queen right now, guys. He's building queens to try and heal his units for value. REYNOR is really slowing things down, and he's just going to stay on mass Broodlord. But he needs to beat BYUN in the fights. Now, to be fair, I have seen BYUN get so rolled in this situation against Dark before, but I think Dark's way more patient than REYNOR. REYNOR is like visibly frustrated if you see him playing these situations, whereas Dark has just got this like demented grin on his face, and you're like, are you really enjoying this? And Dark's just like, I don't know, fungal, Like, there's just this energy of being completely unperturbed when Dark's playing this situation. REYNOR looks a bit more triggered usually. Those ghosts are getting killed there, though. Those fungals were sick. Amazing fungals. Thor drop kills this base on the left side, but, dude, hugging the edge is almost always a losing strategy against Broodlords. This is, I mean, this is a crazy choice. I know he wants to mine the gold minerals, but that kind of gives you an opportunity. I mean, you've got to always be scanning and focusing the Infestors when they run forward. Still no answer to these libs, guys. Still no answer to these libs. He's just going to have to snipe the base, run in and run away. These Liberators are getting massive value, but sniping a base on 11 workers is huge. That's one of the 2 mining bases of BYUN right now. REYNOR still has a massive mineral bank, very little gas. He's got very little gas. He's still not rebuilt the top left rich gas. He's finally got this one. He needs to take the gases on this base as quickly as possible. You can tell REYNOR's feeling the chaos, though. More Ultras are on the way. I got to say, a few Corruptors over here would be game changers. Couple Corruptors in the army is almost always worthwhile. They're an expensive unit, but you got to realize they're supply efficient. And the supply efficiency of Corruptors is the most underrated thing in late game by most top Zergs in this matchup. They think Corruptors are expensive and not that versatile. You got like 4 Corruptors in your entire army. It's 8 supply. Their ability to shut down medevacs, to shut down libs, to rotate around and find that mobile anti-air damage is massive. At this point, he can't afford it because he's out of gas, though. Broodlord's going to go after the tank. 49 drones to 52 SCVs. That Hellbat drop's still ready to come back in on that side. Doesn't have anything to kill it. It can just chill. This is very annoying for REYNOR to deal with. His queens are going to have to try and deal with it. No, shout out to REYNOR for respreading creep. He's got to keep respreading it because that's what you... Oh, Oh, Infestor Fungal. Fungal on the Ghost. Fungal on the Ghost. Broodlord disengage. Very nice. A couple snipes go down, but not enough to really be game winning. A lot of the Infestors getting focused. He transfuses the Infestor before it can take a second tank shot. Nice moves by REYNOR, but those Ghosts, the Broodlords have drifted a bit too far forward, I think. That being said, his Lingbane Ultra is just going to go for it. His Infestors are YOLOing. The Infestors are burrowed right now, but they're dying to the splash damage. A lot of those Infestors are going down. There's a Planetary behind this. Ultra Bane trying to roll in. The Banelings are just going to have to click on the Planetary, I think. The Thors behind the Planetary are big. The Neuroparasite on the Thor is massive. The Thor turning its fire on its own friends. REYNOR here with a massive engagement on BYUN. Gets rid of most of the army. He's going to have to run away now. That Broodlord will come out of the Neuroparasite. He could throw another one if he wants to. He's just going to go for the Fungal. Breaks the snipes. Does still lose a Broodlord, though. Corruptors are finally here, taking care of these medevacs. What I've been calling for this whole time. And look at those medevacs going down. That's actually pretty good value, man. Every time, killing these medevacs is expensive. They're 200 resources each. Oh, this is big. The Ling's actually getting rid of this Thor would be nice. He wants that Thor. It does go down, but gets rid of the medevac and then pulls back. And that's the Corruptor value. Massive Corruptor value. Broodlord's denying this base. This should be game in REYNOR's favor now, guys. REYNOR made this a bit harder than it needed to be, but by not adapting to the style BYUN was playing. But BYUN hugged these ledges too much, and he just ate too many Fungals. REYNOR was too good at rotating his Infestors forward one at a time. So more often than not, it was only one Infestor getting EMP'd, and he was really good at throwing those zoning Fungals. Nice Liberator harass for BYUN over here. What's BYUN got, though? 3 mineral patches there and 1 base here. I mean, he can remax. And REYNOR doesn't have a big bank. Is it actually? It might not be over. Yeah, I shouldn't call this, because if this base gets denied and this base gets denied, REYNOR has very little mining left and almost no gas on his side of the map. Like, basically, he's got 400 gas there, and then it's just these 2 very exposed bases. So if somehow BYUN can deny those, that'd be big. Corruptors, yeah, these Libs had free reign for so long, and now BYUN's finding out that the Liberators are just simply countered. Lynx could have killed the Sensor Tower on the way out, but he doesn't choose to invest in that just yet. This tank on the high ground, nicely positioned. 57 kills. Kill counts, unfortunately, don't mean anything once there's either Swarm Hosts or Broodlords in a game, because most of those kills are just Locusts. Free units, not as impressive. Oh, here we go, Ling Ultra Corruptor. The Hellbats will wreck the Lings. The Ghosts with the Snipes can beat the Ultras. And it's denying the top left base. I mean, I say he can remax. His supply is still so low, though. REYNOR's making a supercharged Ultra Lingbane Corruptor army with dual spellcasters. I mean, it's a very good army. Oh, and the Lings find the tech on the high ground, and he finds this base, getting rid of some of those mules. He also takes a dump on the base as well. REYNOR. Damn, man. I think he's got this in the bag, guys. He's got a big army. If he breaks this base, it's game over. He's going for it. The Hellbats are going to roast the Lings, but the Banelings easily deal with Hellbats if they can connect. Blinding Clouds, Neurals coming down across everything, trying to spread backwards. Fungals on the Ghost could be big. Nice Fungals on the Ghost. Not many snipes getting off. Ultras getting behind the worker line. Corruptors dealing with the Liberators, and you can just see there's too much Zerg. The Hellbats trying to deal with these Infestors, but the Broodlords come in from behind as well. Nice burrow there for REYNOR. Corruptors taking out the last medevacs. The Ultras are kind of stuck awkwardly in the mineral line. That command center will go down. The Corruptors can finish off the command center, or they can just keep chasing, making sure there's no medevac saving the day. And it looks like REYNOR was thinking about dropping changelings behind that army to try and trap it, but he pulls back, says, oh, I probably don't need to go for the style points, do I? Bottom right side, a few Lings there would be massive, guys. He's got this base on the right side mining. REYNOR needs to get that top base up again to secure his position. But I think as long as he gets the Corruptor damage on this command center, that's going to start burning down. What can BYUN possibly do? He's at half the army supply. Lings in the bottom right once again come in. He really wants to make that base lift, so the poo denies it, but BYUN is going to come up and clean that one up. Sorry, guys. We're using the technical words today for all the things. All the technical words today. Well played by REYNOR. Really good multitasking. And this is the thing. I really feel like REYNOR's ability to tactically pick a player apart. Also, the usage of the Broodlords was great. I've always said if a player makes 10 or more siege tanks, Broodlord, you just make a round of Broodlords, man. And a round of Broodlords can be so good. I was not expecting REYNOR to then continue making Broodlords and to out-micro BYUN's Thors, Vikings, and Ghosts. Now, admittedly, that is the situation that BYUN sucks at. BYUN needs to, like, basically get Maru to coach him on that kind of face-off between Thor, Viking, Ghost, and Broodlord Infestor, because I think the very best Zergs do regularly beat in there. Dark's done it before as well, where I've seen BYUN's whole army kind of walk into the meat grinder. Speaking of the meat grinder, guys, if Lings attack into that, they'll get roasted, but there's nothing there for Ultra Bane. You've got like 4 ghosts and 2 tanks in the back. I mean, this is looking rather dire for BYUN. If BYUN wins from here, he's going to basically, I will dub him Majestic Wizard Lord, Mr. BYUN, clickety-clack, Master of the Craft Stars. That's going to be the title I'll give him. And he'll deserve it to win from here. Oh, look at that Infested. You see the Infested dodge that EMP? That's what I'm talking about with Reynor's Infestor Biker. He's a little clumped right now, but notice he pulls 2 Infestors back, throws the Zoning Fungal. There's not enough snipe to even kill these Broodlords, guys. There's just not enough snipe. The Broodlords literally can just kind of kite this down little by little. Great play here by Ray. And he gets game 1 against BYUN. Good Broodlord micro, good multi-prong Ling attacks as well. Maybe not the best taking of the forward bases for Reynor. Made this game way closer than it needed to be. But I'd say like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 on the things that he did well. Man, he excelled at. He smashed it. All right, the Mad Lad has allowed Dynasty to stay in the selection. Reynor, what in the heck? Why would you... What map do you veto over Dynasty? I would love to hear. Anyone in the chat, anyone in the comments, let me know. This is like #1 veto for Zerg versus Terran for me. BYUN in the bottom left side can be happy about this. Repping Shopify Rebellion. Because the thing is, yes, your gold base can get denied by Ravagers. But by the time Ravagers get there, you can have a 3rd base up and you can just like float the command center elsewhere or just get a Banshee out there. Like it's I feel like Zerg has to just play incredibly generic with 3 bases. Oh, he's going to take this as his 3rd, guys. I could tell from his camera. He was spamming his camera locations and he went main natural 3rd. So he wants to go 3rd out front and then 4th base out here at the gold and rich gas. So that's what Reynor's plan is. He's probably going to open Roach Ravager to try and just hang on and defend. Problem is, you defend this base, you're so open to drops around the top side. Like, your mobility is so awful for defending drops and just dealing with the pace of Terran. So, Reaper expand for BYUN. And as Terran, you just play safe, but you get a gold base. That's it. Like, it's such a good map for Terran because you can start such a fast 3rd CC off the gold minerals. You can get into extra barracks and stim faster. I mean, there is win conditions for Zerg, right? Like, if you can win one fight and then you suddenly just move your army over here and deny a base for free without really committing, that's amazing. It feels great. But we'll see what Reynor has in store for us on Dynasty and what he thinks he can do to take down BYUN. 3rd base out front. Reaper's coming forward. Off topic, but Battle Aces has actually helped me practice my micro. Yeah, well, I've been saying that. A lot of players who've never really been able to control armies and say they're bad at micro in StarCraft are all going to learn how to manage engagements a lot better and micro a lot better in Battle Aces because there's no macro distractions. You're like, oh, even slow players are going to get like a bit better at setting up fights and stuff. I think it's going to be a really good, like, almost mini practice game that'll make a lot of mid-level StarCraft players actually better at StarCraft. Just at those areas, of course. It's kind of like a fun training regimen. Of course, that's the new RTS that's out from David Kim's Uncapped Studios. Been playing a lot of it. Might post some more casts of that in the future. I've created a channel to do commentary of like pro matches of it because I do find it's very action-packed and fun. But I haven't posted any videos on it yet. Maybe in the next few days. 3rd command center on location as well. So BYUN's being a bit greedy by building that there. But if he gets away with it, I mean, he's only put 4 workers on the gold. Now that's interesting. I would have transferred a few down here to get the immediate pickup on the income. But I think BYUN's like, yeah, you know, this way if you do deny it, I haven't committed as much. I don't have to move the workers back to my main. I think he's just happy saying, look, I get ahead either way. Like, I don't need to lose that mining time. Let's just get the next step in my build-up. I've got Hellions building, Marine stim. For me, the lack of a starport tells me we're going to see 2 more barracks in a sec, right? Okay, 2nd barracks. Yeah, 3rd barracks. Yeah, we're going 3 barracks. And then the factory will lift off, build another reactor, which the starport will swap onto. So this builds a barracks, and then it builds a starport with the same SCV. This is just like, I want to get lots of Marines and stim out so I can, you know, push forward, control the map, defend my gold mineral line. And Reynor right now, I mean, he's got a good worker advantage, right? But you just got to realize the Terran with that gold base acceleration is just going to have more stuff than normal. And I imagine BYUN will probably do like an 8 racks off 3 base. I mean, maybe. He might still take a 4th base, but I just think he'll be aggressive off it to really utilize that momentum lead. And this is what Reynor needs to defend. 420. He goes for the 4th base with the rich gas and the gold minerals. And a roach horn. Exactly what I expected. This is, like I said, guys. Yep, this is what you got to do. You're like, BYUN's ahead. He's going to attack. What's the best defensive unit that I could trade really well with? Roach Ravager. There's an argument that if BYUN just goes straight to a 4th base while doing drops and stuff, he could simply get ahead. But it's going to take a while still for that base to kick in. It's like going to be about 7 minutes in the game is where Reynor's economy is really soaring off this gold minerals, purple gas. If Terran can be attacking nonstop by that point, it's going to be quite nice for BYUN as he goes to 4th and 5th barracks. Starport going to swap over onto that factory's reactor. Double upgrades coming in on the engineering base. Ling's going to pull back. BYUN with a nice scanny scan. Clearing a few of these active tumors, but I like this. Reynor threatening, saves an active tumor. That always feels bad as a Terran. When you scan, you can't even kill the tumors that are there. Reynor's a bit slow to respread, though. He was expecting the Hellions to come back in, so he waited a few seconds, then places them down. 5 more roaches building right now. 63 drones instantly saturates the gold fully and takes the purple gas. Could have taken the purple gas 30 seconds earlier and already had that mining. Small thing he could improve because he's only on 2 gases right now. So that's going to take him to effectively 4 gas. Interesting. So he's kind of doing like Ling Roach right now. Normally you go pure Roach. And if you don't against the Hellbat timing, that's going to be nasty. Luckily for him, there's no armor. It's just Hellion Marine with 1-1. More roaches are required right now. Reynor trying to go double upgrades and a 5th hatchery. Man needs to take another gas pretty soon. That being said, he's only on 62 drones, going to 60, 70. It's not like he can get up to 70 workers for free here. He's got to respect this. And indeed he does. Great counterattack. Already cleaning up 2 Marines. We'll get a 3rd. Forces the depots to be raised. No more rally to the front. Roaches and Queens, I think, can defend this. Like, yeah, having, 6 Queens... About 7 or 8 roaches with more rallying out should be good. Lings are going to come forward. Reynor pulls back, forces a stim, forces SCVs off the line. He's happy with that. And he's droning during this. He knows how confident he is. Guys, I might take back the hate. We're at that 7-minute mark period. BYUN hasn't really got any momentum off this. And he's got a 4th command center almost finished at 7 minutes. So I should probably take that one back. He's got some economic momentum, but the fact that Reynor's still up 20 supply, up in army supply, up 16 workers, I don't know, man. The 5th base is about to finish for Reynor as well. I think Reynor's doing a really good job of keeping pace. That being said, his upgrades, he just canceled melee and made range. Ooh, his upgrades are already late. And now he's deciding to play like Roach into Lurker potentially. This is a bit of an odd decision. I wish he made that decision earlier because he's already so far behind compared to the 2-2 of BYUN. The upgrade advantage for BYUN's good. Supply looks okay for Zerg. Just remember, a lot of that's Roach supply. So this is still a very good position for BYUN. BYUN's still ahead in this game, guys. Don't get me wrong. I've got to make sure you guys know that because this game could end very suddenly if one fight goes badly for Reynor. Remember, this is Roach supply. It's not worth as much as it looks like. Ooh, hatchery kill. Nice move for BYUN. Reynor doesn't have many units up here. Where's his army? Okay, they're coming. Roaches and Queens are arriving. A few creep tumors go down. Queen goes down. Roaches will defend. Down here, though, BYUN doing some drippy droppies. Very nice maneuvers. Just keeps picking up and dropping where he's not expected. Oh, that Widow Mine got a juicy shot. BYUN wants to punish. Queens are coming down to deal with this drop, but that means he's left this top side without the transfuse support. 1-1's not done for Zerg. Even though the Roaches have a good concave, they're losing this fight. He's got to pull back to the spines. He's got to pull back to the spines, but he's distracted on the south side. Look at this drop just going from side to side. Oh, BYUN finding massive momentum right now. Biles kind of land on just 1 or 2 Marines, but focusing down a Ravager. Good move by BYUN. BYUN being a massive nuisance, and you can see it there. 1,600 resources trading better. Has his 4th base up, but he's only on 65 workers against 82. Raider's going to pounce back across the map. Bile down these Widow Mines. Remember, one Bile does not take out a Widow Mine, but one of them did already fire, so it does get revealed. Roach speed is done, +1 carapace is done, +1 range will be done soon as well. Having a few Lings up front does automatically drag that Widow Mine away. Reynor's happy to trade right now. Second Bile there would be massive. Oh, he gets a medevac and 2 Widow Mines. Nice moves, but Reynor's overcommitting now. He's overcommitting. He's got to get out of here. He can't keep fighting on BYUN's side of the map. He can't keep fighting. BYUN brings back the reinforcements. Reynor overcommitted there. This was 1-1 versus 1-1, and Reynor thought, oh, this is a good fight for me because I'm killing your reinforce. But BYUN had the medevac healing, had the stims. Reynor needed to pull back, make a few more Ravagers. He's up in army supply, but it's Roach army supply. He's got to be really careful here. He's got +2 carapace started, but 2-2's about to kick in. BYUN's like, dude, I've been trading with a double upgrade advantage. Guess what? I'm up 2,500 resources in the units lost, and I'm going to do it again. And this is what I was talking about before. When you take these bases, how do you defend them just picking up and dropping past you? Look at this move. BYUN's like, wait a second, why didn't I do this before? You have nothing that shoots up but a few queens. I'm just going to run in. Oh, I'll kill your Hydra Den, so you don't even have any tech. At least a new Hydra Den does go down. Nice transfuses, good saves here. He's got another army running down the south right now, moving the creep. BYUN is being a nightmare to deal with. Reyn is looking a little frustrated, but he's continuing to handle things with relative poise, considering how annoying BYUN is being. And BYUN's up to 73 workers. He hasn't made a 5th base. He's made just 2 more barracks, guys, which will bring him to 10 barracks. But he doesn't have a 6th command center. So BYUN will gas out. I mean, run out of minerals, essentially. He's going to start running out of mineral income if he doesn't take a new base soon. He should be taking a new command center very soon. He's going to build another engineering bay to seal the hole, guys. Oh, wow. I haven't seen that before. Very cool. Triple drop in the south. I guess I just don't see a lot of Zerg versus Terran on this map because it's so commonly vetoed. Clicking the hatchery, picking up and getting out. Oh, he's going to lose a medevac maybe. No, it survives. Oh, lurkers in the south. Is this enough though? REYNOR doesn't have a lot of support for these lurkers. They do have the range upgrade. BYUN just monster moding it though. Oh my god. Talk about ridiculously decisive. Shoves into the lurkers. And there's just not quite enough units there for REYNOR. South side, he redrops. REYNOR finally gets more roaches and ravages, but he's already lost the lurkers. So the buyer's already traded really well, even if they get defended. Not to mention, he's back in on the south with 10 barracks of pure momentum. Oh my lord, what a style from BYUN. And it was all about that overcommitment on the counterattack for REYNOR. He just overcommitted a little bit, and that gave BYUN just enough room to keep shoving in. You know, REYNOR, he's very, very good. But sometimes I think he kind of is like, just almost like a little too cocky with his counterattacks where he thinks, well, you can't keep attacking. And BYUN there does the unexpected. REYNOR biles down his own Evo chamber. He's on 1-2 upgrades against 2-2. The medevacs in the back do pick up and save those units. And this is just amazing trading. 6,000 resources. Well, 5.5 technically, but still a big advantage for BYUN. He's got that 5th command center that I was talking about. It is going to float over there. So he is continuing to expand. He's also going Ghost Academies, extra tech labs. So he's going to have a good mixture of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tech labs and 4 reactors. So 4 reactors on his barracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reactors, 5 tech labs on his 10 barracks. Perfect split of Marine Marauder production there. Swap to Ghost production when needed as well. Widow Mines are out front. Lurkers here need support. Queen's coming down. Lurkers on the high ground. No, REYNOR, got to be careful with these lurkers. Those lurkers on the high ground, they weren't burrowed there. Uh-oh. Adaptive Talons wasn't done. Slower burrow time, remember. Oh, and he's getting through him. If those lurkers stayed burrowed on the ramp, I don't think BYUN could have pushed there, but he tried to move them down thinking his middle base was going to get jumped on, and now the lurker's having a combat burrow. Gold base, purple gas base, gets sniped down. BYUN is all over it. He dives in the south, gets another hatchery cancel there as well. And I got to say, REYNOR played this map exceptionally well. I totally take back everything about you need to veto this map. I think he made this look like a very well... Like, he made it look like a fair map. It's just BYUN managed to overwhelm, right? And it's a bit odd judging these sort of games, I gotta say. The eBay doing its job nicely. You probably don't want to keep mining here much. You want to probably just let that gold mineral wall stay up. BYUN's up 26 army supply. Double drop's going to unload there and heal. BYUN pulling out of the lurker's spines. He's going to break these rocks. REYNOR's only on 64 drones. The problem for REYNOR is income right now, guys. BYUN can choose to wait. There have been games where BYUN loses momentum and loses the game. We're thinking BYUN versus Dark on Site Delta at Dallas, where he forgot to build medevacs for 3 minutes and then just didn't have the ability to heal his Marines and kind of lost all momentum in that game and series at that point when he should have won that game. This is not that moment. This is an intelligent pause in the momentum and aggression for BYUN. This is just him going, I don't need to keep attacking. I killed all your economy. I've got a 5th base. I can just make sure I add my macro, add the next steps. I've still got a massive triple upgrade advantage. I mean, the Lings suck as well, guys. There's no melee upgrades. So Lings do literally no damage against these +3 armor. Even SCVs will beat Lings. Here we go. He's going to stim on the top lurker. Gets on top of it. At the same time on the south side, big fight. Ooh, big fight. But there's just not enough Zerg. There's just not enough Zerg, man. Wow. And he's just going to... Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to burrow the lurker, but you know he's just going to scan it again. Lucky to get 2 hits off there. And in the top side, Lings coming forward. Bio stims on top, shuts it down. Ooh, big attack in the middle. Okay, Lurkerling. I like the way Reyn is trying to multi-prong to get back in it, but this is such an unsupported army. Even getting all these SCVs, I don't think it'll be enough. Snipes in the top left, taking out some lurkers. 12 workers and a Ghost Academy will go down, but look at that stim from the right. Surprised he's not stimming from the left at the same time. Now he is at least attacking from the left, not necessarily stimming. BYUN just has way too many units. He loses a lot of workers there, but REYNOR was losing his last army, and he has to tap out. All right, guys. We've got BYUN in the top left side of the map. He's going to be going for the low ground barracks, 2x Reaper pressure. REYNOR is just going 15-15. 15 hatchery. He's just going for the Overlord. Should be a spawning pool at about a minute and 3 seconds. And yeah, 15-15 is meant to be very good against 2x Reaper. That being said, Serral's much better at 15-15 than REYNOR. So doing this transitions best against 2x Reaper into just building 4 queens and then droning up and going roaches on 2 base. And your third will be delayed quite a bit, but you're just ahead because your natural is saturated at 315. You don't need to build any extra lings against 2x Reaper. Just the initial 2 that you probably built, or even none you can get away with is fine. So this should be a favored opening for REYNOR, but we'll see how he plays it out. Yep, good gas timing there, 16 on minerals, then he saturates the gas, and then he'll do a bit of long distance mining. Now this is interesting. Is he predicting 2x Reaper? He still should transition to the natural with that third worker that he tried to stack there. You see the workers derping around, guys? Yeah, he ends up pulling it down. He could have pulled it down a little bit earlier, but I think he just got a tiny... I mean, if he'd optimized it and stacked it correctly, he would have got slightly more minerals doing it this way. So I see why he did it that way. So he's going to go for 4 queens. Notice he's been very safe with his Overlord. He hasn't gone very far forward. He's just been looking for proxy barracks. He hasn't found one, but when he sees the second Reaper moving out, he'll know it's a Reaper pressure. Now, one of the weird things of REYNOR is he hasn't been scouting for the expansion. He's worried about losing the Overlord to Marines, so he's really conservative with where these Overlords stand. Now, he's got 1 worker on gas. He should be rallying a 2nd worker onto gas. Only 1 worker is not enough. And let's see. You want to do extractor tricks because they're cheaper than spore tricks. That's why he quickly runs it over there. And already 3rd queen's on the way. He does need to start a 4th. There we go. 4th queen starts up, cancels the gas, goes back, injects go down, queen's moving. He knows that it's 2x Reaper. He's seen the 2nd Reaper with his Overlord, and he's got to bring his queens together so that he doesn't lose them. Oh, no. Oh, REYNOR, you got to be careful. He's going to take a lot of damage. Good focus fire from him. But yeah, look at this rotate from Mr. BYUN. Very nicely done. Oh, that's not a blocking Evo, guys. It's a choke point Evo, but not a blocking one. Queen on the natural's exposed. He's got to focus the weak one. Oh, REYNOR, he tried to do some hold position micro there, I think. Got to wait for that extra queen to pop out. Hello, good focus fire, good focus fire. They should inject with that queen and save for transfuse with the other one potentially. Now, REYNOR's had to build a lot of Zerglings. So notice it's 315 almost, and he hasn't saturated his natural. Oh, BYUN's going to get a creep tumor as well. Slick moves, but he did lose a Reaper to the queen, so I'd say that's overall decent for REYNOR. Because now it's 320, he's already got his 3rd hatchery on the way. He's still mostly saturated on the natural this time. Fully mining gas there. I still think this comes out on top for the Zerg. It's a 3-Rax follow-up. And that could surprise REYNOR, though. Because this is very uncommon these days. Ooh, Overlord, react, REYNOR, react. Oh, he's too slow. He's too slow. He had to get straight to that pillar. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself for that. Just a bit too far away. Probably should have been sitting on the pillar already, moving up to the other one already. These Overlords need to hide. He's not adjusting this Overlord either. He's going to lose a 2nd one and a 3rd. REYNOR. Oh, God, REYNOR's kind of panicking right now because he's not playing roaches. He's trying to go into Zerglings off this, which you can do, but he's got to be careful on the follow-up. This is great damage from BYUN. BYUN doesn't know about that other Overlord. If he just goes in that direction, it's a free kill. REYNOR's going to try to get to the pillar, and he will. He will get to the pillar. Okay. That could have been a lot worse if he lost 3 Overlords. As it is, though, that really evens things out. And I feel like it's totally, like, not too bad for BYUN now. On the other hand, BYUN, he's going to go for Engineering Bay. This looks like a 2-base all-in old-school style. Fast Carapace is good against it. BYUN, unlike Bunny, doesn't necessarily go all in with this build. He very well could just go 3-Rax, start building Medevacs, and then just build a 3rd command center. And it's like halfway between a 2-base build and a different one. Nice. Overlord hides there. It wasn't perfectly positioned. It's only 15 lings and 6 queens. This is a scary timing. Stim and Shields is done. Whoa, he's only got 1 transfuse. This is a weak point. If you give REYNOR 30 seconds, he has 3 transfuses. Oh, BYUN's not going to give him that time, though. Remember, there's no Medevacs. These stims are just one and done. But those lings are getting wrecked. Oh my god, 16 more lings about to pop. They're not quite here. These fights are always so close, but I think BYUN's got the critical mass. Oh, this is going to be hard. I mean, REYNOR will eventually hold with the ling rally, but he's losing so much. Killing those Overlords early, really giving BYUN some momentum. And massive damage coming down now. Oh, huge, huge damage. Look at this. Evo chamber tries to go down. It just gets clicked on and killed. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And you know what's crazy, guys? If there was like 2 or 3 more transfuses, totally different fight. He has how many active tumors does he have? 3, 4, 5. That's not that many active tumors. If he built a bunch more creep tumors, I would criticize REYNOR here for building too many tumors and not saving energy for transfuse. But it's the mixture of losing the overlords and then just being a little behind on his ling production. Maybe there was a supply block in there. I'm not sure, because if he had all of his lings at once and surrounded those marines, it goes really well for him. And you can afford, if you know that it's 3 racks, to go for the full surround, but he didn't know it was 3 racks. So he would have had to infer that from just how many marines there were and going, oh, that feels like a few more marines than there should be. But it's not until... And then the shields is done so quickly because there's a second tech lab, and that's also something you don't expect until you see it finished, and then you go, oh, geez. And you can see here... Really nice kind of pressure scouting denial build from BYUN. 3rd command center is almost finished. His 4th and 5th barracks coming up. +1 weapons is finishing. Like I said, he doesn't always go all in off these. He can kind of do a half and half build where he's like, well, I have a delayed 3rd command center, but I do have a 3rd command center. REYNOR needs a 4th ever so desperately. He's going to take +1 range. Oh, okay. So REYNOR lacking map control right now. He really should be using his lings for map vision, guys, to see when these marines move out. He's playing very blind right now. Very, very blind. He does see the 3rd moving out. That's very good for him. That's very good to give him a bit of context about where this game's at. Now that's interesting, guys. He's taking a 4th base on the right. It feels like REYNOR's all in right now. He's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gases. He's droning a little bit, though. It feels like he's in survival mode. I guess upon seeing the 3rd command center, he does hold the drone key down, but he's still only single Evo chamber. Double engineering base coming up for Terran. Terran's building tanks. Terran's got the armory. 2nd Evo now does come down for REYNOR. 11 marines building already. It's 8 racks. It's 8 racks, ladies and gentlemen. 8 racks. Marine tank 1-1. He's going to start the 2-2 behind it, but this is just going to be like no more SCVs this game, nothing but aggression. REYNOR's going +2 carapace, but we know... I feel like if REYNOR commits to nothing but Roach Ravager from here, he can win this game, but there's just no reason because he has no scouting. He has no Overseer at all, and this is one of these areas where you know Serral would be scouting with an Overseer right now, and that's the thing is, like, under this pressure, no one scouts as well as Serral, but that's what we all need to look towards as Zerg players to realize that's why he does hold these builds a lot. Because he knows they're coming and he would stop droning right now. REYNOR's still droning. BYUN gets a Ravager for a few Marines. Lings and Spore ready on the right side. REYNOR's still droning. And that's it. Because remember, REYNOR's comfort zone in ZVT, he never hits timing attacks. Ever, pretty much. Very rarely. And he almost always just macros to Hive off a high drone count. But right now, he's going to try to play Lurkers, which I think is a good call. I think Roach Hydra into Lurker is kind of a safer style. But he's got to stop droning and make nothing but Roach Ravager. He needs to spread creep aggressively through the middle, which he's got only 3 queens, and he's not even replacing creep. And he has no vision on the map, so he has no idea about this push coming. His whole attention is just macro and being distracted by the drop. BYUN's all over it. BYUN's ready to push forward. BYUN surprising him with a giant army advantage. REYNOR's still in the middle of droning right now. Oh, man, investing in a Hive and 80 drones might be a bit too much here for REYNOR. Tries to come forward, but the tanks are already sieged above his 4th. And there's only one choice here, and that's give up the base. He's gonna realize in a sec, there's just no way he defends this base. It's just such a bad spot. Because you've just invested so much in a gas-heavy army. He doesn't have any splash damage. He's trying to build an infestor, realizing, oh god, even the Marines can bowl me over. I don't have enough firepower in here. Down in supply with Roach Ravager. REYNOR was very far behind from earlier in this game. If he went pure Roach Ravager, maybe he could have held it. Still would have been very hard. Big bile there. But yeah, this is a disaster. Ling's overwhelming the Marines on the rally, which is nice. Double drops in the back, though, doing huge damage. And you can see REYNOR's trying to pull out all the stops to survive. But look at that. The Infestor's being spotted. Roach Ravager comes forward. I like the double bile on the tank. Does take it down. Those Marines clearing the natural mineral line, though. REYNOR's multitasking is pretty slick. His micro is fantastic. He lands a fungal, tries to come forward, but BYUN gets him with the 3 racks. A cheeky, sneaky build. And as I said, I thought REYNOR's opening should put him ahead. I thought he was ahead at least a little, even though the Reapers did cause some trouble with the queens getting some good damage. Let's go back and just take a look at this and see, why didn't REYNOR have enough lings? Because I don't think there was any big lead here, man. Like, whoa, you've lost a Reaper for what? A Zergling and delaying some creep spread, right? But your command center is hugely delayed. Third hatchery's down at a very quick time for this sort of build. REYNOR goes ling speed. You could argue maybe he should have built these extra queens a bit faster. He does get supply block there, right? And that slows down. Okay, so check it out. So the first overlord going down has stopped this queen from building, and that delays it. And this is really important. And so then he's got to build a few overlords. Starts an evo chamber. He loses another overlord. The queen does at least start building just before that overlord goes down. So at least it's not delayed any further. But then even here, he's under pressure. There's no extra queen building yet. And there should already be another queen basically starting now. And remember, this is big. Why is this big? Because remember, he lacked transfuse when the fighting started, number one. His link speed's also so late, so he doesn't have a lot of scouting, so he just doesn't realize. If he went roaches here, I think he'd be in a much better position. But because he's playing against the 3RX, a pretty rare build, we don't see this anymore. Good build, like, you know, picking by BYUN. And it's already like, oh, that's quite a lot of Marines. And he starts massing Zerglings, but he's just a bit behind on transfuse. And like this queen here, she should come down a little bit earlier. And you can imagine he might have 2 or 3 transfuses, because when this fight starts, look at this, guys. There's only 1 transfuse. But that queen's... Sorry, this queen's on 46 energy. Okay, this is weird. It doesn't always update the energy counter correctly. You can see this queen almost has a transfuse, and this queen here almost has a transfuse as well. Because you can see they're both very close. 42 and 47 energy. Instead, that queen goes down. He does get 50 energy here. Does he get that transfuse off? Should get one more, 2 more transfuses off. 2 more. That queen dies before she could transfuse another one. So there's a few transfuses that he misses out on here, and he's just a little bit light on Zerglings. And you gotta look at this and go, but look, he's only up 5 workers. Isn't he in a bad spot, Pig? Guys, you gotta realize, if he has enough units to surround and shut that down without losing any more than just a few queens and lings, BYUN's stuck on 2 base. He hasn't started the 3rd command center. The moment you shut this pressure down, Zerg just holds the drone key down and is up on like 60 workers against a Terran who's stuck on, at most, 45 workers effective mining. That's why this is a very committed attack, but REYNOR just had no way of scouting it. Now, I'm not sure what the difference is. If the Overlord's further forward, he probably just hides the 3rd barracks in the back somewhere. But REYNOR's scouting does get taken advantage of here. And we see the power of BYUN. Really, really well done. Just nice moves by BYUN. Gets a 2-1. GG, well played.